I'm Jeff with Precision Replacement Parts. I'm here with Greg today. We're going to show you how to install a DWP 171078. Greg, what's this fit?
These are the pair of door seals from 1978 to 87 Chevy Camino.
Check our website for complete make, model, year information. Let's get started.
Before we start the removal of the old door seal, what I'd like to show you is that on the molded ends of this seal, there are some retaining screws. Now one of them is exposed, the other one will be underneath this upper door panel. So we're going to need to remove that first. There normally are caps on these pull strap. Ours are missing. We are going to remove these Phillips screws that retain that pull strap. And remove our lock knob. It just turns off. And then there is a clip on this upper door panel behind the panel here, and then also in the front. Go ahead with our pry tool, get behind there and just pull that out. We'll do the same on the front. Remove this upper panel and just lay it down. Now we'll access the retaining screws. Now that we have this upper panel loose from the door shell, what I'm going to do is remove this electrical connector for the power windows. It does have this retainer that screws off, that holds the electrical connector to the switch. Now we'll get this out of the way. Now we can remove those retaining screws on the molded ends. Okay, we're working on the back side of the door. I'm going to remove this retaining screw. This was the one that was under that door panel. Okay, now once we have those out of the way, then we can proceed to remove the old weather strip. Now as we move along the length of this, some of this is glued up here. We're just going to use the chisel end of this windshield stick to move that away. But what we're also going to run into are some plastic pins. Now we can remove those a couple different ways. We can use a pry tool, or if they're really stuck in there, we can reach in there with the side cutters and just pull those clips out of place. And again, they go into these little holes in the door shell. We'll continue removing these clips out of the door shell along the length of the weather strip till we get to the other molded end. As we get to the other end, it appears that there's some Weatherstrip adhesive over here also. One last clip. If those clips come out of the weather strip, just grab our side cutters and remove them. Now we'll go ahead and remove the 2 Phillips screws holding this molded end in place. Okay, now that we have the old seal out of the way, we'll go ahead and get this area cleaned up. Right, we're going to start the reinstall of this door seal. We're going to start with this front molded area. Kind of just test fit this up here into place. Come down and start the first couple pins into their respective holes. I'm going to come back and put these retaining screws in place into our molded corner. Okay, now that we've got those started, we're going to go ahead and install the pins along the length until we get to our molded spot into the back of the door. I've installed the front section of our seal and along the bottom of the door. As we're coming around to the back, just want to show that we're going to start that pin into its respective hole in the door shell. And then inside the seal, I can feel the head of that pin, so I'm just pushing it into place. Into the hole and pushing it in place. And that seal should sit nice and tight onto the door shell. I'm going to do this one real slow. Now as we get to the molded end, what I want to do is line up these screw holes. And install our screws. Now we'll go back and just check all our pin placement. Just going along and make sure that I have all the clips installed, fully seated into the door shell. Now as I get to this end, I see there is some gapping going between the seal and the door shell. There was initially some glue in place. We'll go ahead and replace that glue, weather stripping glue, and get that to sit tighter on the door shell. All right, so we are going to take this weather stripping adhesive, get it on both surfaces, the door seal and the door shell. I'm going to do this in the front also because there was some gapping up here. Now we'll just let that tack up. All right, now we've let our adhesive set up. What we're going to do is we're going to bring it together onto the door shell. And we'll tape it in place. Okay, and we'll do the same thing in the front. Now what we'll do is we will go ahead and install this upper trim panel and then pull that tape out after a while. We're going to go ahead and reinstall this upper portion of the door panel. I've got this tape kind of folded over until that weather strip adhesive sets. We're going to leave that tape in place for now. We're going to start by reinstalling the electrical connection onto our power window switch. Just going to place it over the pins. This blue retainer just pushes into place. Now we'll go ahead and put this panel onto the door shell. Start by locating the lock rod, and we're going to put this knob up. Now what we have to do, a couple things, we have to make sure our door panel is wrapped around the top of the door shell and also falling into the groove of the lower door panel here. Okay, everything seems to be in place. Now again, there was a clip on the back side of the panel that goes into the door shell. This one is already started. Reach behind, install that front one. Now we can go ahead and reinstall pull strap screws. Do is locate the holes. Now that we've got everything tightened, we'll just double check. Getting this tightened down. We've let the weather stripping adhesive set up for a couple of hours. We're going to remove our tape. And this wraps up the installation of our DWP 1710-78. Thanks for watching.